G'day viewers, Retro Man here and welcome to the show. Now guys, Paul Verhoeven, he's a filmmaker. In fact, he's a Dutch filmmaker that kind of tried to conquer Hollywood back in the 80s and 90s. He had a few high-profile films out. I mean, he directed RoboCop and he also did Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he did that notorious film Showgirls in the mid-90s. But man, I mean, he's in his 80s now, and just recently he's been rather vocal, you know, about some of those remakes that they've been doing of his famous films. I mean, Paul Verhoeven's an interesting character because, you know, many people went and supported his films. Some of them were blockbusters, and sometimes he'd release a film like Basic Instinct, for example, with Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone, and people would walk out of the cinema and you know, people walked out in droves when Showgirls ran in 95. So, you know, one minute they like him, next minute they don't like his films, and you could, I suppose, say that he's a controversial filmmaker. Well, today, guys, you know, we're going to discuss the remakes of RoboCop and Total Recall, and guys, we're going to get Paul Verhoeven's view on those remakes. So stay tuned for the lowdown on Mr. Paul Verhoeven. When Hollywood runs out of ideas, they turn their attention to remakes. In the 2010s, director Paul Verhoeven had to suffer the fear of two of his most successful sci-fi films being remade, 1987's ultra-violent crime tale RoboCop and 1990's mysterious fantasy Total Recall. In 2012, Total Recall was the first to get the remake treatment, with Colin Farrell replacing Arnold Schwarzenegger in the lead role of Douglas Quaid, the construction worker who receives an implanted memory of a fantastical adventure on Mars. Supporting Colin Farrell in the remake were Kate Beckinsale and Jessica Biel, who stood in for Arnold's co-stars Sharon Stone and Rachel Tickerton. In 2014, RoboCop was remade with Joel Kinnaman replacing Peter Weller as Alex Murphy, the good cop who becomes part man, part robot after he is critically injured in the line of duty. Both remakes were critically bashed, with Total Recall receiving 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, while RoboCop received a marginally better 49%. Nevertheless, both remakes managed to turn a profit at the box office. Total Recall came with a budget of $125 million and brought in approximately $212 million worldwide, while RoboCop had a budget of just under $130 million and made approximately $243 million globally. Despite the minor box office success of both films, it seems that these remakes have left director Paul Verhoeven somewhat frustrated and dissatisfied. Now, he actually hates them. Let's just get that clear. I mean, that's basically the gist of this episode, that he has a distaste for remakes, particularly films of his own. In the case of Total Recall, Verhoeven felt that the remake lacked the original film's mystery and ambiguity. Verhoeven stated, "I felt it had a lot of special effects, but this mystery, is it true or is it not true? I just didn't feel that anymore." In the case of RoboCop, Verhoeven explained, "In my opinion, I thought it was a problem to make him more tragic. RoboCop is not a tragic figure. Yes, he's killed in the most horrible way in the beginning, but when we see him again as a robot, he doesn't feel that. In the new one, because he remembers everything, he's much more tragic." It's always fascinating to hear a director's feelings on remakes of their films, and when it comes to Paul Verhoeven, it's refreshing to hear that he took the time to see both remakes and that he doesn't shy away from speaking his mind. However, one thing Paul didn't address was that his films were R-rated and the remakes were PG-13. This was something that didn't sit well with many fans. Now well into his 80s, Paul Verhoeven's plan is to re-emerge in Hollywood, but will he ever recapture the magic of those classics? Only time will tell. So guys, there we have it. Director Paul Verhoeven doesn't really enjoy checking out those remakes of his famous films. I mean, they rather irritate him, and I think he's just disappointed because he brought his vision to the screen, and he sees it now through a different lens, and to him that lens isn't correct. So Paul stated his claim there, guys, and what I will say is I saw the RoboCop remake in the cinema, and I also saw the Total Recall remake, and really, I think I preferred the Total Recall one over the RoboCop one. The RoboCop one, I must admit, was rather forgettable, but the Total Recall one with Colin Farrell was kind of okay. I mean, it got me in for the most part, and I think it had some interesting special effects. So, guys, I think the Total Recall remake was better than the RoboCop remake. But, guys, I'm sure you have an opinion. So, guys, tell me in the comments below if you think that Paul Verhoeven is correct, that those remakes of RoboCop and Total Recall kind of stink, or do you like certain aspects of those remakes? I mean, is there a bit of give and take? Do you like something, about the original RoboCop film and then something of the remake, and you kind of wish you could marry the two together to get the perfect movie? Or do you just do not like the remake? I mean, Total Recall, would you prefer to watch Colin Farrell over Arnold Schwarzenegger? I mean, you've got a big guy and you've got this other guy that's kind of, I suppose, handsome to a point. So you've got this bodybuilder and you've got a good-looking guy, and it's marketed differently, and, it's just a different kettle of fish. So, guys, tell me in the comments below what you think of these remakes. Tell me if you think that Paul Verhoeven, really has been harsh, or he got it right. So tell me all of that in the comments below, and let's get the discussion flowing on these remakes. So guys, you will see Retro Man again very soon. I have some more episodes coming your way. But as always, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. And I will be back sooner rather than later. So until next time, this is Retro Man, living the dream, retro style. Stay gold.
Thanks for watching. Retro Man will return faster than a boomerang. But in the meantime, please check out these other episodes.